Greetings, welcome to the match reaction video here on Latte Firm. Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 4. A Gabriel Martinelli hat-trick, his first ever for Arsenal Football Club, saw us come from behind to beat Portsmouth and cruise into the fourth round of the FA Cup. And the magic of the cup has delivered once again. Crystal Palace, the holders, dumped out. Spurs being beaten at home and dumped out by Villa. And Manchester United, Danny Welbeck at Old Trafford. That is FA Cup heritage. Welcome to the show. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. It is cold still in the UK, but it's Sunday night, the 11th of Jan, and we are now through in the FA Cup. It's been a great weekend of football. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you're tuning in for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video if you're watching, and a very warm welcome to our channel members and Patreon members. Speaking of whom, the video that's going to drop tomorrow with Matisse, many of you will know as Ma, YouTube sensation, Chelsea fan, that is now out for YouTube channel members and Patreon members in case you want to watch the Chelsea and Carabao Cup special. That'll be released tomorrow to everybody else, but it is out now. So welcome. Let me know what you thought of all of the action. What did you make of the Arsenal game? Lots to talk about. Martinelli hat-trick after the week that he's had and all the media narrative. Getting a hat-trick, eh? How about that to silence some people up? But of course, we did have to come from behind. So we're going to talk about all of that, talk about performances, talk about whatever you sort of want to talk about. And let me know who you want in the draw. The fourth round of the draw will be made at Anfield tomorrow night after Liverpool presumably beat Barnsley. Graham Watkins was first in the chat tonight. Good evening, all you beautiful gooners. Hope you've had a great Sunday. We have indeed. Please, could we just try Martinelli as a striker? I think he would really surprise us with both Madueke and Saka on either side. Come on, you Gunners. I talked about Gabby Martinelli playing in that number 9 role years ago, and no one ever took it seriously. I think he has all the sort of traits and movement and speed and finishing ability to at least warrant a run there. I'm amazed that we've not tried it, but he is playing and he scored a hat-trick today. That is fantastic. Graham says, have a great show, FK. It's great to have you in the chat, Graham, and thank you so much for your very, very kind words. Afsar, evening, FK. Where are the Martinelli haters? I would love to see Martinelli play up front as a false 9 to deal with the striker crisis at Arsenal. What do you think? Gyökeres story is over at Arsenal. What is this striker crisis you talk about? Victor Gyökeres is there. Kai Havertz is now here. And Gabby Jesus is back. And, of course, the wide men are all contributing to goals. We're going to peak at the right time, Afsa. I feel it. J.K. Miungo, welcome to the show. Good evening, FK. Good evening, Gunners. Delighted for the win. Happy for Kai's return. He will take our attack up a level. What a cameo performance from Kai Havertz. As soon as he came on, Mikel Arteta spoke about it in the post-match interview. His movement, his vision, his off-the-ball sort of work. Brilliant. So good to have King Kai back, and just at such an important time of the season as well. Jizzle McDizzle, saw someone say on socials earlier that we wasted money on Gyökeres. That money would have been better spent on a left wide forward, and Martinelli should have been moved to centre forward. Thoughts? I think it's too early to write off Victor Gyökeres. I know I might be the last man standing on this entire planet that's backing him, but I really want it to work out for him. And I think the break today would have done the world of good. Hopefully he starts at Stamford Bridge in the week to play Chelsea, and hopefully the goals will come. 7 goals in the first half of the season. If he ends up on anything between 15 and 20, it's still possible. That wouldn't be a bad return for someone who's starting in England for the first time. I still stand with Victor Gyökeres. Have some of that. V Vlad, good evening, FK in chat. Solid win. Happy to see him rotate so much. Come on, you Gunners. 10 changes for Mikel Arteta in the Arsenal side. Gabriel, the only person keeping his place from the Liverpool game. And I thought Gabby looked a little bit sloppy. Gotta say, I've been saying that now for 2-3 weeks. Mark Gahey, where are you? I'm kidding. Excuse me. Rancid AFC says, good evening to all. He says, I would love to see the halftime team talk of Arteta because we were so poor in that first half. Yeah, he spoke about it in the post-match interview. He said a few words. He wasn't happy with the level of intensity and the passing quality and the work rate of the team in that first half. And of course, we came out in the second and we bossed it. We have a new channel member, Cyrus1497. Welcome to the YouTube channel membership. Do enjoy some of the bonus content on there, of course. Really appreciate the support that you're showing the channel. If you're contemplating supporting the channel for the price of a coffee a month, do head over to Patreon, ladies and gents, boys and girls. You will get all of the ad-free content there. There's also access to match tickets and random sort of giveaways, but I recognize that lots of you aren't on Patreon and you'd rather support the channel via YouTube. But Cyrus, welcome. That bonus content with Matisse Armani is out now for your viewing delight. Let's get back to the chat. DJ D10 is here, says, good evening, everyone. I agree that Martinelli is basically a striker that we use on the left wing. Another shout for that. Jeet says, evening, FK. Back to work tomorrow after 3 weeks. Wish me luck. Rookie mistake, my friend. Going back to work after prolonged time off over the Christmas period, you should be going back on a Thursday or a Friday. I'm telling you, take it from my experience and my wisdom. Always go back with a couple of days to go before a weekend, so you have the weekend to recover, because by day 3, you ain't going to be in rush hour 3. Let me tell you that. Whole Milk says, evening all. Paul James says, good evening. All wins are good wins, but we were made to work for this one. It was comfortable in the end, Paul. I thought we started sloppy, obviously. Colby Bishop scoring after, just 3 minutes, but it was almost an immediate response. We weren't at our free-flowing best, but then that cohesion, as Mikel Arteta said, always takes a bit of time. You make so many changes. They train together, but they don't play together. And to go away to a stadium like Portsmouth, they were bouncing, especially after that start. Sure, it was difficult, but we got into the rhythm and we absolutely bossed it. Not really a difficult one for me. Trevor says, good evening, FK. Nice to see 10 changes to the team and still run out 4-1 winners. The squad depth is there, but Portsmouth are terrible. We know this. They're in the Championship. They are flirting with relegation. 21st in the league. Lost almost half their games this season. They were always going to be beaten, I feel. And Colby Bishop, I think that was his first goal in 19 games, or second goal in 19 games. Yeah. AFC 777, FK again, ole, ole. Thank you, my man. Really appreciate you being here. Jizzle says, we made to work for every win, it seems. Yeah, look, set piece FC, of course. Own goal FC, 3 corners today. Not the free-flowing football that we want, but maybe Mikel Arteta's played a blinder. I think some of our football in that second half was so slick, much quicker tempo. The movement was good. The through balls of sort of vertical passes were great. I think we're purring, and I think we're going to enjoy that in the second half of this season. Whoa, what's going on? Cyrus, 1497. Cyrus, mate, you've just gifted 10 Latte Firm memberships here on YouTube. Your generosity is absolutely appreciated. Thank you so much. It goes a very long way to the channel. You guys know I don't want to work with betting companies ever. They do some pretty awful things to some very vulnerable people. So all the income is, of course, very much appreciated. But to gift 10 people with channel memberships, that is phenomenal. And for those of you that have just become new members, do check it out. The bonus content with Matisse Armani is available. It'll be released to everybody else tomorrow. Dave is in the house. One of our Patreon members says, evening Gooners. And Mount Silver 248 says, good evening all. Kojo's here as well, says, good evening, FK. Come on, you Gunners. Look at that smiley face he's got there as his profile picture. Good news is here as well. Good to see you, FK. And you bring all the good news. Lewis, evening, FK. And all you beautiful Gooners. Yeah, we're all in good spirits tonight, aren't we? Dave says, Martinelli hat-trick and Havertz coming on, looking good. More of that, please. More of that to come, my friend. I think Kai Havertz, if he can stay fit, phenomenal. It is going to be a really good last 3-4 months of the season. Let's all just laugh at Spurs. Absolutely brilliant. Kojo says, happy to put 4 past Pompey. We have history. We have heritage down at Fratton Park, don't we? Some really positive memories down there. M. Good evening, FK. Can you give my wife Farah a shout out because she has to listen to you instead of watching Downton Abbey? Farah, hopefully I've pronounced your name correctly. Congratulations for putting up with M. And my commiserations for having to listen to me talk about Arsenal. But we will be over soon. Don't worry. These are nice, short daily shows. And enjoy your Downton Abbey. M. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness. We have another channel member. Gosh. They're coming in thick and fast today, just like our fixtures. HD Yankee became a YouTube member. Thank you so much again for your support. Really, really grateful. I'm humbled by it. Do enjoy the bonus content that's out there, and there'll be more of that bonus content to come. Thank you so much. Paul says, enjoyed a couple of new songs today. Did you hear them? I did. I have to say, it's a little bit sensitive. The chant about Gabby pushing him off. I mean, look, I get it. It was probably witty in the moment, but I think after what's happened this week, it's probably not the best thing to do if you want to keep a low profile Arsenal fans. But football is tribal, and that is just the way that we are. Evening all, says Ash. Martinelli villain arc. We will be there. Manny says, Christian Norgaard came in and was solid again, looking dependable. There is a slide dedicated to Christian Norgaard. He is a utility player, says Kojo. So valuable. A couple of shouts here for Ethan Wanieri. Thought he grew into the game. If he gets some minutes over the month, he can definitely build on that trust. Apparently does not want to move from Arsenal, wants to stay, fight for his place, and keep learning, keep developing. Title number 14 is here. Marley Salmon came on, the youngest player to play in the Emirates FA Cup, and of course now a full-fledged Arsenal player. V Vlad says, hate to say it, FK, but Gyökeres won't ever hit the levels we need. V Vlad, please, not tonight, my brother. Anajit says, evening all. Cyrus says, cheers, he was just renewing. Well, you've been very, very generous. Really appreciate that. Lewis Academy says, evening, FK. Me and the missus listening to you is the highlight of our week. Are you guys taking the piss? Please. I mean, I'm touched if it's genuine, but if you're listening and you're enjoying it, I'm just grateful that you're here. Mrs. Lewis, welcome. Thank you so much for your support. Really, really appreciate it. Gosh, the chat is wild tonight. Best thing for me, says Mount Silver, was putting minutes into the squad legs of players with the tight schedule coming up. So let's start with the starting lineup tonight. So obviously we had, earlier. Oh, how could I forget? Quick shout out for this. The boys, many of you who might be sort of tuning in for the first time won't know this, but there's a few regulars on the show. They very kindly surprised me for my birthday and got a recording studio booked, and we did a recorded show just about the channel and what I've sort of done with it since it started, and then thoughts about Arsenal for the rest of the season. Check it out. If you want to win some Latte Firm merch, some sort of prints and mugs, all you got to do is type Gargantuan in the chat. So click on that video link. It's in the channel feed. But let's get back to today. Starting lineup. This courtesy of now_Arsenal on the left-hand side. Look at our sweet prince on that right-hand side. Look at him. 10 changes. Like we said, Kepa playing in goal. Some people were quite critical of the goal that we conceded. It was a good shot. He parried it well, but unfortunately went straight into the path of Colby Bishop, who, of course, smashed it home into the roof of the net. Other than that, I don't think he was bad. One or two wobbles on the ball, but he's obviously no David Raya. Fine, no problem. And David Raya, you could see him on the bench. He looked a little bit dazed, actually, particularly when Marley Salmon was coming on as a substitute. I think David Raya, people always wonder, why do goalkeepers get rested? But I've said it maybe a few times on the channel. I never really appreciated it myself until Arsene Wenger and many other coaches used to talk about the mental fatigue. And when you think about the involvement that David Raya has with us, he's got to always be so on the front foot, the way that he passes, the way that he's just sort of that sweeper keeper. Take him out of the limelight, give him a week off, let him rest mentally, and I'm sure I don't know, will he be back in against Chelsea? Can't be sure of it, but he'll be back in goal certainly soon. Ben White coming in at right back. I love Jurrien Timber, but God, have I missed Benjamin William White. It is so good to see him in Arsenal colours. I'm so pleased that he's back from injury. When he is up and down that right-hand side, he's so dangerous in the final third. I think he's a great player, and I'm so pleased to see him back. What did you guys think of Ben White's performance? Christian Norgaard, Mr. Utility Man, dropping into centre-back. He's played there before for Arsenal, of course. Excuse me, playing alongside Gabriel Martinelli, the only player who played against Liverpool. Lewis Skelly coming in at left back. A few daggers out for young Miles today. Again, just having a really difficult season, I think, the young lad. Excuse me. And I think it'll come. I'm a little bit worried. Ricky Calafiori is still out for a couple of weeks, and now Piero Incapie, of course, we're going to find out the results of his sort of hamstring scan soon. He's got to hold the fort. He's got to be there. We have to support him, but he's not having the best of times at the moment. In midfield, Mikel Merino, what a performance. What a performance from Merino today. I thought he was magnificent, genuinely. In midfield as well. And I think he captained the team, which was quite interesting because obviously Gabriel Magalhaes was in the lineup, but I thought Merino was excellent. He was the glue. He connected the defense and the attack, and he was ever present. He was winning duels. He was passing brilliantly. I thought he had a very, very good performance. With Ethan Wanieri ahead of him and Eberechi Eze getting his first start in about 4 games. Really pleased to see Eberechi Eze on the pitch. Needs the ball more. Needs to want the ball more, but the team need to get him on the ball more, because when he's on the ball, he's absolutely outstanding. But just not, I would say, flying at the moment. He's probably just beginning to purr, but we need to see more of him, I think. Noni Madueke, who I think was really interesting today. We probably saw the best and the worst of Noni. Physically off the ball, not the greatest. He probably got killed for that first half. But then, of course, the assists, the winning the penalty and then missing the penalty. I mean, he's had a real roller coaster of a day today, Noni Madueke. But Equally, it's given Bukayo Saka a bit of time off, and that's a big positive. Gabby Jesus making his first start in a long time, I thought did really well. The assist for Martinelli was delicious. And of course, our hat-trick hero, Gabby Martinelli. Right, Danny says, Madueke seemed determined to take that pen. Don't think he messed one up until today. Yeah, there was no scuffling, was there? No sort of infighting for that penalty spot, for penalty kick. He won the penalty himself. He got up, and then, of course, he missed it, unfortunately. I always hate those stutter runs. I'm not saying the stutter run caused him to miss, but there's something about it. Maybe I'm just showing my age. I'm an old man. Unks over here. I'm not a big fan of those stutter runs. Just pick a corner, take your time, let the whistle blow, let the ref blow his whistle, take a breath, and then just twat it into one of the corners, low or high, no problem. But don't do that stutter run stuff. That's just my me nitpicking. Offside trap with Grande. How do I get membership? Do you know? I actually don't know. I think you just go to the YouTube page and maybe click join or something. If you don't want to join as a YouTube member, you can get over to patreon.com/lattefirm, going along the ticker there. Sign up there. It's a massive help to the channel. There's a lovely community there with a great active chat forum every day, and there are giveaways and access to match tickets. Cyrus, stop it, please. Best content on YouTube. Cheers. That's amazing. Thank you so much, man. I'm just privileged to be able to share content with you and time with you guys. You guys are awesome. King Kai at Chelsea says, Adam, we shall see. What did you guys make of Kai Havertz's cameo? Coming off the bench, 25-ish minutes to play. I think he looked so good. So slick. Donald says, big up Cyrus for his generosity. Likewise. Kojo says, Cyrus would have loved a membership. I don't know how the memberships get awarded. I think it's just random. Larry's in the house just shouting, yeah, as he always does. I love that. Oh, by the way, the Garms, the red currant Cannon hoodie is absolutely elite. I love it. So I got it half price in the Arsenal.com sale. Their sales are often pretty good. The beauty of the pencil says, greetings, Latte Firm. It is nice to be here. Larry says, nice win. I am 29. I'm glad 29 is back. Kai, what a difference he's going to make. I really hope so. Callum says, good evening. Good evening to you. Hope you've had a fabulous weekend. Lewis says, great to see Havertz back. Really looking forward to the back end of the season. I mean, it just gives us options, doesn't it? I mean, if you think about what Gyökeres does and what he's been doing, and of course he's getting slated for not scoring goals, let's give him a little bit of a breather. We know Gabriel Jesus is a very different type of profile, and we know that Kai Havertz on his day is also absolutely brilliant. So to have all three of those, hopefully purring and on an upward trajectory for the rest of the season, that bodes very well for our title challenges and any pursuit of silverware. Paul says, I was pleasantly surprised by how good Norgaard was in defence. He's a humble but valued member of the squad. In fact, let's talk about Christian Norgaard because I thought he was really good. Before we do that, some match stats, courtesy of Scott Willis, who you guys can find on X. Obviously, cruising into the next round. These are the stats of the game. Very comfortable in the end. 4-1 winners, Arsenal. Expected goals, 2.3, but then we saw 2.3 expected goals for City yesterday, and they scored 10. 15 shots on goal for Arsenal, 13 from Portsmouth, 4 on target for us, 5 for them. 9 from open play. We bossed possession. Passes completed as you would expect. We won that battle, field tilt, final third entries. We were the better team. Even though Portsmouth have had some chances there, I think the scoreline is absolutely a fair one. I think even though the game started like that with Colby Bishop scoring that first goal, it was important that we just sort of responded quite quickly, and we did. It was about 3 or 4 minutes later. And yeah, then the rest of it was fairly academic. Let's move on to Christian Norgaard, because so many of you mentioned it. I mean, I just want to shout him out. This is a guy who captained Brentford. He's Premier League proven. He has been a regular in the Premier League for years, and he got a chance to sign for Arsenal. And we all remember the sort of announcement video and how emotional he was to see his little boy coming in and gate crashing the photo shoot with an Arsenal shirt. You could tell just how much it means for him to be here. He hasn't played much football. He hasn't made too many starts. He's had a couple of sort of cameo appearances off the bench, and he's just model professional. You don't hear a bleep from him. He looks happy to play for Arsenal when he's called upon. He's playing out of position. I mean, he's played there before, earlier parts of his career, but he's not really a centre-back. And he's just using his experience and his guile and his wisdom to kind of just see us through games. Really, really valuable person to have in the squad. And I'm loving it. If I can just fast forward, and I will go back to comments. What are people saying about Christian Norgaard? Let me know what you guys think of him. Kojo says, Norgaard is such an example player of who is good, get reduced minutes, but gives his all while he's keeping the peace and being a very honourable person. Honestly, I couldn't have said that any better. I think Norgaard is just the model pro. And the fact that he's just there and he's very, very happy to kind of be part of the squad and do a role using his sort of experience and his fitness, I think is absolutely fantastic. A couple of shouts out here from Marino. Marino with the armband confirmed the order of the leadership group: Odegaard, Saka, Marino, Big Gabby, and Rice. We know that Mikel Arteta really, really rates Marino. DJ D10 says, yeah, Marino really stood out today. Would have been man of the match if it weren't for the hat trick. Yes, I think, well, despite the hat trick, I mean, look, the goals have come from 2 set pieces and a tap in, right? But I think Marino, what he did for the team today was absolutely brilliant. How can you not give the hat trick hero the man of the match? But yeah, Marino was there. He was on par. For me, he's my man of the match. Classic Dan, welcome to the show, says Marino, Wanyeri, Eze is an interesting midfielder. Love the positive attitude when you consider we have a defensive midfielder in defense as well. And when Odegaard came on, I like that. I like Odegaard and Eze being on the pitch at the same time. There has to be game states this season, ladies and gents, boys and girls, where Mikel Arteta deploys both. What options to have on the bench? Absolutely superb. Mike says, Christian Norgaard, appreciation shout. Love that. Hand of Arsenal is here. Amazing group of lads, and congratulations on everything around Latte Firm. Thank you so much, man. Your support has been absolutely phenomenal throughout, the last few months and however long you've been sort of tuning in. Really appreciate it, man. And there's the signature. Everyone loves it. Donald says, FK Shiny Head is the highlight of my week. Don't, man. Come on. Rancy says, Mikel Marino with a gargantuan performance. Absolutely. Today is not about Victor Gyökeres. Enjoy the result. I don't think I've sort of piled on. You know, Dan, you've been watching long enough to know how much I feel about Victor Gyökeres. He is going to come good. I'm sure of it. Great to see Havertz back. Looking forward to the back end of the season. Lewis, all right, I've gone back to the chat, which is where we were. Brilliant. So quick shout out for Christian Norgaard. Really, really good performance, and I want to see more of it. I want to see him whenever he's called upon, just coming off the bench or having a game here and there. I'd like to see him actually come in for Declan Rice in a few games. Like, Declan Rice has played a lot of football. We've got to protect him. We've got to maybe sort of just give him a rest, maybe 15, 20 minutes at the end of the game whenever we're sort of comfortable. I think people are sleeping on Christian Norgaard. I think he's a very, very good player, perfectly acclimatized to the Premier League, and captained Brentford. He's no slouch. Bonsoir, mon ami. Bonjour, Christophe, man. It is nice to see you in the chat. Dave says Norgaard needs to be used more to take minutes out of other players' legs. Exactly. That is exactly that. And DJ D10 saying exactly the same thing. Couldn't agree more. He's been extremely underused. Maybe there's a plan. Maybe he's going to play a bit more football in the second half of the season. Norgaard is in his semi-retired consultant phase. Break glass in case of emergency, says title number 40. I love the way you guys describe stuff. And Christoph, Norgaard was quite good. You can tell he's more comfortable on the ball in the midfield rather than at the back. But that is to be expected. Perfect opportunities here for him to pile up minutes in the cups. Absolutely. Let's move away from Christian Norgaard. Let's talk about our hat-trick hero. And listen, this is not me sticking 2 fingers up or sort of trying to remind those who have been really bitter towards Gabriel Martinelli that this is what happened. But I want to include this on the slide because I think it's been a particularly difficult few days for Gabriel Martinelli. We forget, he's a young lad living away from most of his family, who presumably are still in sort of South America. I know he's got his immediate family and sort of close relatives here, and he's settled obviously in London. But like, the media were on him, rival fans were on him, pundits were on him, radio stations were on him. I don't think it's been a very easy few days for him. And we forget, these guys are human beings acting in the heat of a moment. Arne Slot, I think, covered it absolutely beautifully in the post-match interview that he had. Mikel Arteta referring to that today. And for him to score, not 1, but 2, but 3, I think is absolutely brilliant. And I'm so delighted for him. The goals themselves, the first one, obviously, from a set piece, really crisp corner taking in. The Stevie Bolt sort of near post header back straight into the back of the net was for 2-1. Then obviously the penalty miss. And then the second goal, I think, in the second half came from a Gabby Jesus pass, wasn't it? Gabby Jesus with a delicious low ball played across the 6-yard box. Gabby Martinelli at the back post. It was absolutely brilliant. A couple of messages here on Gary Neville. Jason says, Neville is such a hypocrite. Tried to hurt players on purpose multiple times throughout his career. What an idiot. I mean, Roy Keane's the same. You remember what happened with Erling Haaland's father, Alfie Inga? I mean, Like, what planet are these guys on? You know, it's so throwing stones in glass houses and all that sort of stuff. It's yeah, it's not good. Paul says Martinelli loves the Champions League and Cup games. He really comes alive in those games. I wonder. That's a good point. I wonder what's so different about cup competitions. I mean, European competition, I get it, a little bit slower paced, not as intense. Players not always digging away at your heels, and Arsenal tend to play him into space. In the Premier League, maybe we ask him to run at defenders too much, which he doesn't really enjoy. Cup competitions, maybe against lower sort of league opposition, maybe he thrives. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, but there we are. Yeah, look, really pleased for Gabby Martinelli, and now he is our top goal scorer across all competitions with 8. But listen, I'm delighted for him because, like I say, it's been a very difficult few days for the young man. Everyone who knows him has been coming out saying he's one of the nicest people. Martin Kieran today on TNT Sport coverage with Resh was saying that he's the nicest person that he's met in this current Arsenal crop. He's a very, very soft boy. Sometimes, you know, that frustrates us, doesn't it? In terms of the way that he is, his demeanor on the pitch and how hungry he can be. But he's a very soft, a very humble, and very decent guy. And I kind of reflect on that, but it was just an unfortunate incident. You know, Bradley gets injured. Martinelli's running towards him, sees him on the floor, pushes him out of the way because it's something that we see so often. And against Liverpool, Arne Slot's talked about it so many times. And it was just a perfect storm where, you know, player gets long-term injury and then Gabby Martinelli takes all the heat. In fact, I saw a Liverpool fan today, really big account, Abigail, I think her name is. And she tweeted something like, you know, once the news about Conor Bradley was released, you know, I'm even angrier at Gabby Martinelli. And I sort of replied back saying, why are you even angrier? Like, he didn't cause the injury. He was, you know, Arne Slot has basically come out and said exactly what he thought happened. Why are Liverpool fans like raging? And the hat-trick would have not gone down very well with those guys. That is for true. Ramsey says Martinelli is an overexcited 8-year-old. Yeah, he's got that. He's very, very young at heart. I think that's I mean, I'm taking that as a complimentary thing to say about Gabby Martinelli rather than a sort of critical thing. But yeah, he's just a very soft and innocent lad. Matthew says Martinelli will get booze if he plays against Chelsea. Hope it shows them again. Yeah, I mean, he got booed today at Portsmouth, and I think he's going to get booed quite a lot actually over the next few weeks. And that's something that, you know, he's going to have to learn how to deal with. You know, it's not the first time that it's happened to an Arsenal player, but I think he is going to get a lot of attention over the next few weeks. And Mikel Arteta's got to protect him. The boys have got to protect him. Playing out on that sort of wide flank, whether it's at Chelsea or anywhere else, he's going to get a lot of stick. Bradley is out for the season. Of course, we wish him all the very best with his recovery. It was hugely, hugely unfortunate. Dan says, Martinelli remains my favourite story at Arsenal. Plucked from the 3rd division in Brazil, wasn't he? And now he's truly one of the best left wingers in the world. I wouldn't go so far as that, Dan. I don't think he's one of the best left wingers in the world. He's definitely a top player, playing at a very, very top club. And I think he's maybe got 1 or 2 years to go. He's still reasonably young. But of course, his story and how he came from Brazil, you know, virtually sort of unrecognized. I think we paid about 5-6 million quid for him. And look at him, you know, he's living the dream. And look at him with his hat-trick man of the match award there, courtesy of the Emirates FA Cup. And of course, the signed match ball because of the hat-trick today. Rance has just come back and says, yeah, it is meant to be complimentary. I know. I'm just saying. Kojo says, glad Slot and Soboslai tried to diffuse the situation. Sadly, it's not going to go down with, you know, it's not going to register with all Liverpool fans, my friend. Right, so look, Gabby Martinelli, really pleased. And I guess closing thoughts on the game, very pleased that we've won. It was a fixture that I went into with a lot of excitement because, look, the Premier League's been grueling and we had that draw against Liverpool. It's just a nice distraction. Let's go into a cup that we've won more than any other club and let's just go and get a win and make changes. And we've done exactly that. We've gone down to Fratton Park. We've played a team that are struggling in the Championship. We've made 10 changes. We've put in a good performance, goals galore. Okay, set pieces, fine, but really important to see Gabby Jesus make his first start. Really important to see Kai Havertz come on for that last half hour and to get minutes in legs for players that don't necessarily get them all the time. I've always said, and I've recently said more often than not, Mikel Arteta now has to earn his graft and he has to make sure that he rotates that squad and gets the best out of some of these squad players because our first 11, first 13, 14, if you like, they cannot play every game until the end of the season. So that is a real challenge for our manager. He's not really ever been a fan of rotating, but he's going to have to do it. He's done it a few times this season. He's doing it now. We've got a couple of sort of, dead rubber Champions League games coming up. I expect Arsenal to go strong in midweek against Chelsea, but maybe not sort of full first 11. You can bet your bottom dollar that Liam Rosenior and Chelsea will absolutely go all belt and braces at Stamford Bridge. You know what? Actually, I did the recording yesterday with Matisse, and it was a very, very good show talking about Chelsea and his thoughts on the Carabao. And he actually made me think, I think we're going to need to go strong. We'll have to wait and see. Danny says, I'm pretty sure counting today, own goal is one of our highest goal scorers with 5 contributions. Lol. I did post on social media. I'm just going to refer to my post earlier on. That's my handle on screen, by the way, in case anybody wants to follow F Carnage. I posted earlier today to say Arsenal's top goal scorers in all competitions, right, this season. Gabby Martinelli with 8, Trossard, Saka and Gyökeres with 7 each, and own goal with 5 goals. You're absolutely spot on, Dan. And I've got to say, that made me kind of stop and reflect and think, is the problem just Victor Gyökeres? Is the problem not the entire sort of front line? And when I say problem, maybe this is the final sort of tweak that Mikel has to make just to get the attack purring. Mikel Arteta's been at Arsenal where we've battered teams week in, week out and scored 3s and 4s and 5s. It's in the locker. It's in the head. It's in his instructions. It's there. But obviously last season we couldn't quite do it because of all the injuries. This season we've had 8 new additions. We've had some very, very tough away games. Maybe now with Kai and Jesus and Gyökeres getting a little bit of a breather and, you know, Madueke coming in and Saka and Martinelli getting in amongst the goals and Trossard's playing well. Maybe they all finish the season really strongly. Maybe if they can all get to sort of 12, 15 goals across all competitions each, maybe that's all it's going to take. I've had another very kind donation to the channel. Paul Pavlinsky, a very, very kind donation to YouTube. I really appreciate the super chat, brother. Says, first off, great work, FK. I hate the way we attack. It's unbearable to watch. No first-time passes, no quick ball movement. Pragmatism is killing me. Look, I agree with you. And do you know, I was thinking just today watching the United game, because teams don't do this anymore. One-touch passing is just gone. Everyone takes one touch to get the ball under control. Then they sort of scan and look, and then they release the ball. You remember under, you know, Wenger's finest years, the sort of Wilshere, Nasri, Ramsey, Cazorla sort of combos in central midfield. They would one-touch pass into the opposition box. Liverpool are probably the closest in terms of transition monsters. They try and get the ball out of their feet very, very quickly. And you think about the midfielders they have, McAllister, Szoboszlai. There's no surprise. They're very technical sort of players. I wish that we could do that because I think we'd move the ball much quicker. Do you remember that scene from Goal? If anyone's watched that movie, the coach was trying to demonstrate to Santiago Munez. He was just twatting the ball, like long goal kicks to the stadium. He's like, you know, what have you learned? He was like, the ball travels faster than man. And that is basically as simple as it gets. Like you just need to, you know, one touch passes, it moves the ball up the pitch so quickly. It does frustrate me. But pragmatism, Paul, that is the cornerstone of what Mikel Arteta is all about, isn't it? He wants to make sure that everything is under control. Everything has a process, has a way. It's his way. And I don't think we're ever going to get there. That's just the way it is. Thank you for your chat, though. Kojo says, FK, I really do believe that this team might need shooting drills or shooting masterclass from Thierry Henry. We create chances and a lot, but very wasteful. I'm not sure we create that many chances. We create chances, but there's definitely something that Arteta can do about, and the coaching staff can do about tweaking our sort of final third play. We can be better. Paul says, today was a win. We won the end. Let's move on. Yeah, it's a nice way to finish. In fact, we're not finished because the magic of the cup. Ladies and gents, what a day it's been today. And of course, what did we see yesterday at the Spurs? There's a new chant about Thomas Frank and how he's a silver member. I'll let you guys look into that and Google that on socials. It's very, very amusing. So yeah, Spurs losing their 37th match since the start of last season. Just hear that again. Their 37th match since the start of last season. It's not very European champion-y, is it? But Villa showing what they are made of. Again, Unai Emery's men continuing their really good form. And I got to say, Morgan Rogers, ladies and gents, what a player. We know that. But I love the fisticuffs at the end, and he was standing up for his boys. The Arsenal DNA is in him. If I could buy him, I absolutely would. What a player. But Villa are through to the fourth round of the FA Cup at the cost of our enemy. And of course, today, Danny Welbeck. Oh, what a goal. What a goal, eh? At Old Trafford and celebrating in front of his former faithful. And of course, that's not the first time that he's scored and knocked his old club out, Arsenal. all those years ago. That Welbeck goal around David De Gea was brilliant. But Manchester United will now play the fewest games in a league campaign for over 100 years or something like that. So they're out of all domestic competitions, not in any European competition. It is going to be a very negative and depressing second half of the season for them as they watch everybody else continue to play. Christoph coming back and let the ball do the work, exactly, with that sort of one-touch passing. Shim, welcome. 100% agree with you. Arteta needs to make that attacking tweak and watch Victor Gyökeres go. Watch the rest of the team go. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be great. Dan says, Welbeck is a true Barclays man. Top player. And Nathan is looking ahead to Chelsea. Well, look, the draw for the next round will be tomorrow after Liverpool take care of business against Barnsley. That's no disrespect. I think that's what's going to happen. The draw will take place. Who do you guys want in the draw? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Do you want a home tie? Do you want an away tie? Do you want another sort of underdog? Do you want a Wrexham at the Emirates? How magic would that be? Do you want Macclesfield? Let me know who you want. So people have been joking about us getting City. We may as well batter them early before we can have a nice ride to the final. But let me know. But it is Chelsea next, and it's Chelsea in the Carabao. Another final plug for that. So Matisse Armani, known as Ma. I did a great show with him, recorded something yesterday, just talking about Chelsea, where it all went wrong for Maresca, what his early impressions of Liam Rossinier are, and of course his thoughts on Arteta and Arsenal and how close we are. And he's very, very complimentary about Arsenal, and he's taking it very seriously in terms of the League Cup. Ranter says, I want Wrexham or Macclesfield. Daddy says, give us Wrexham at home. Wrexham at the Emirates, says Cyrus. I mean, listen, Victor Gyökeres, 3 hatties against Wrexham at home, 3 hatties against Kairat at home. What's the fuss? His goals and assists will be sensational. Donald says, Wrexham would be very, very interesting. Liverpool at the carpet. Unfinished business, says Larry. That's 1 year too many for me, my man. I want Grimsby, says Kojo. I'll take Chelsea. We owe them after they beat us 1-1. I think the most common shout, though, is Wrexham. Michael says Spurs United at home. Oh, wait. Scott, greetings from sunny Dallas. I want Aisha? Aisha? I'm not sure what you're saying there. But greetings from sunny Dallas. How warm is it in Dallas this time of year? It's freezing in England. I'll take that. And Itzmek says he wants Villa at the Emirates. I don't think I want Villa anytime now. It's just a game we don't need. I know we battered them just a couple of weeks back, but no. Just give me some low league fodder where we can just stat pad and have a nice comfortable day, rotate some players. Yeah, pretty much Manchester City at the Emirates. You guys know what I mean. And just finally, do you guys remember when this was quite mean of me, but I'm quite smug about it? Do you remember when Portsmouth scored? The camera panned to this little kid doing that to the Arsenal fans or to someone. And I tweeted in that moment, I want the TNT Sports cameramen to show me this young lad at the end of the game after we thumped them 4-1. And lo and behold, 4-1. What a day. Scott says it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't know what that is in Celsius. What is that? 55 in Fahrenheit to Celsius is 12 degrees. Okay, that's cool. That's warm. It's about 2 degrees where I am. So enjoy that. Flipdog says, evening all in FK. Just landed back in London. Still on the plane, but here for Latte Firm. That is dedication. That is dedication. And I appreciate that, Flipdog. And Mohammed's here as well. Big up FK from Palestine. Do not forget to pray for our people in Gaza. Always, my friend. Always get through this tough winter. My best wishes to you and to your people and to your family and your nearest and dearest. I wish you only the very best. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining. I am in our London office tomorrow for a conference with some European colleagues, so I will not be able to release a show or do a show because it's going to be a late one, which is why I did that recording with Matisse Armani. It's available already now to make Patreon members and channel members. Do check out your respective feeds, but I'll release it tonight at 1 a.m. How about that? So you guys can watch it from wherever you are around the world. And of course, those of you in the UK watching it on your way to work or at the gym or school or whatever it is that you choose to do. Have yourselves a fantastic Monday. Arsenal through to the 4th round of the Cup. We'll find out who awaits the mighty Gunners, the record holding Arsenal Football Club in the 4th round of the Cup. And then it's the Carabao. On to Chelsea we go. If you are leaving us, please do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and if you've enjoyed the content. And I appreciate all the very, very kind words. Look after yourselves. Take care. And bye for now. Come on, you Gunners.